Very good morning to all the viewers of Q News English. This is Vijay Rana along with the Bharat from our studios out here in Telangana. And how powerful a mind can be. It can overcome all the inabilities of the physical inabilities a person has. And the first picture that we are going to see, we undermine with events like the World Cup, with events like G20 summit. These are all the big events, but the biggest one will that be will be something okay, I'm playing myself out here. So the events that we do not give focus on, the is the para events. Now, what do we mean by para events? Now, the term paralyzed, or the persons with physical disabilities or inabilities, I would say, or physical challenges, what they can achieve. Now, this picture out here depicts that. And India is topping the charts. The willpower these individuals have and the way they participate, that's the sportsman spirit, the true spirit of sports, and nothing can deter them. We can see India's Devi Sheetal and Kumar Rakesh compete in the mixed team. Now, I tried this, I tried archery once, and I had, my arm was like, it was red for next 2 days. So it is not an easy task, and it takes a lot of strength as well. A lot of concentration is required, and she has done it yet again with a gold medal. She achieved gold medal in archery match during 2022-2023 Asian Para Games at Hangzhou, China on Thursday. Indian para-athletes on Thursday created history by winning the highest number of medals in the Asian Para Games, taking the country's tally to 82, including 18 gold medals. So what a fantabulous performance by our champions out there, and it's a moment of celebration. It's a moment of celebration for all of us as well here in India. So congratulations to all those gold medalists, along with the other participants as well. It's equally important to be a participant also, and it means a lot. They all have similar mental strength. They all have the courage to face whatever comes. We feel so dejected. We feel so depressed. A lot of people end their lives. A lot of students end their lives because they do not have money. But look at these people, they do not have limbs to support them. But still, they are the champions. They are the true champions. They teach us the importance of life, the courage, the willpower a human mind can actually display. So congratulations yet again. And moving on, we have the bundle of notes out here flowing in Telangana. Where is this money? 374 crore has been seized right now. Everybody is, there is a poll-bound state, Telangana, and this much money has been seized ahead of the assembly elections in Telangana. Total value seized, cash, gold and liquor touched a staggering rupees 347 crores as of Thursday over 24 hours period ending at 9 a.m. on Thursday. Enforcement agencies successfully confiscated cash, gold and liquor amounting to over 6.85 crores. So that's how, the votes will be, they would try to lure the voters by giving them cash or liquor, and that is a matter of shame for any voter. If your vote is being bought in this fashion, it is democracy, and you should select your representative. You should vote for a person. I'm okay with this. If somebody gives me 10,000 rupees and says cast your vote to me, I would take the 10,000 and I would cast my vote to my favorite contestant. That is what I'm going to do. But I don't encourage this though. but they are indulged. This clearly shows that the political parties know the pulse of the people, and they are indulged in such activities. If this much is the amount that is circulating, and this is this is the black money what we talk about. Now this is unaccounted for money, and who says, and they are all 500 rupee notes. So if you I actually think about the demonetization exercise. Now we have this much black money that is being seized. 374 crores is quite a huge number. What were the government agencies doing when this black money was being accumulated? And from where is this coming? Why don't we find a trail of this money? Who are the people who are actually, sending this money from one place to another? And what do we have here? 8 ex-Navy men get death penalty in Qatar. Now that's a bizarre incident in which Qatar has sentenced 8 ex-Navy officers to death penalty. Why this was happened? This dates back to last year. In fact, it's been an year-long story where they were actually taken into custody, and the case was registered against them in Qatar. So they were highly trained naval officers, and they had participated in different operations. They had led different they were in charge of different naval fleets here in India, and they started working, after their retirement. They started working for a company in Qatar that used to train the Qatar naval officers as well. So they were involved in training them. So allegation was that these officers actually relayed information to the ongoing they relayed the information to Israel about a submarine that was being built by Qatar. So that information was relayed. So that's what has been accused. The details have not been shared. They have not been made public. So the governments have been exchanging documents in relation to this whole affair, but majority of the information has not been revealed yet, and they have been sentenced to death penalty. So let's read further. So that was the brief history that we have available on various platforms on internet. Now 8 former Navy personnel on Thursday were handed the death penalty in Qatar by a local court. The verdict that India described as deeply shocking. The Indian nationals are all employees of Al Dhara company, were taken into custody in August last year in an alleged case of espionage. Neither the Qatari authorities nor New Delhi made the charges against Indian nationals public. In its reaction, the Ministry of External Affairs said it is attaching high importance to this case and is exploring all the legal options. The individuals facing the death penalty have been identified as Captain Saurabh Vashisht, Commander Purnendu Tiwari, Captain Birendra Kumar Verma, Commander Sugnakar Palaka, Commander Sanjeev Gupta, Commander Amit Nagpal, and Sailor Ragesh, according to sources familiar with situation. The MEA issued a statement. We have initial information that the Court of First Instance of Qatar has today passed a judgment in the case involving 8 Indian employees of Al Dhara company. We are deeply shocked by the verdict of death penalty and are awaiting detailed judgment. We are in touch with the family members and the legal team, and we are exploring the options. So that's really sad news coming in for all the family members. They were out there to earn their livelihood. They were out there continuing their jobs, but they have been charged of espionage. Some people also say, I was going through this news, and some also believe that Pakistan's involvement might be there as well, because Pakistan has real good terms. The ISI, the Pakistani agency, has good terms with Qatar, and especially when it comes to matters related to Taliban. So they were hand in glove, both Qatar and Pakistan together while dealing with Talibanis. So owing to which they might have taken this opportunity, where 8 Indians were working in Qatar, ex-naval officers. So they say they have been framed in this case. It's not a valid case. So will this be taken up in the ICJ, in the International Court of Justice? That's the big question. What is going to be the stance of the Ministry of External Affairs, and what is the government going to do to save the lives of these Indian defense personnel, the Navy men of India? So we will just be following this news going forward as well. Moving on, what we have, right to marry person of choice is indelible. Delhi High Court says even parents cannot object to their choice. So that was always the case as far as I know. But a lot of parents actually object when their children get married to somebody who's not chosen by them. So owing to which the Delhi High Court has affirmed the right of a couple to marry a person of their choice, even against the wishes of their parents. So a lot of parents approach the police or the court stating that they did not marry in accordance to our choice, or they did not marry the guy or the girl of their choice. Owing to which, granting police protection to a couple facing threats from their family post-marriage. The court said the right to marry a person of one's own choice is indelible and constitutionally protected, and not even family members can object to such matrimonial ties. Justice Tushar Rao Gadela said, when both parties are adults, their rights to marry the person of their choice is protected under the Constitution. So if that happens, if somebody marries a girl or somebody marries a boy of their choice and their parents are against it and they are threatening them, they can actually opt for a police protection and they will be given the protection as well. That's what this whole article is all about. And 13 from Andhra Pradesh killed in Karnataka mishap, wherein 13 people were traveling from Andhra Pradesh to Karnataka in a Tata Sumo, which collided with a tanker that was parked alongside, and the 13 of them were killed on the spot. In fact, 12 of them were killed on the spot, and one of them sustained major injuries and later on died in the hospital while being treated. So really sad incident on National Highway 44. So from Q News, this all happened due to the fog, the prevailing conditions. So visibility was very less, and this happened. So please be careful. That we've all of us from Q News urge everybody to be very, very careful, to plan your travel accordingly. If it is fog, please do not start early. Wait for the fog to subdue, because visibility literally becomes zero. You cannot see something which is hardly 10 meters away from you. So that might have been the reason, and 13 important lives have been lost, which is really sad. And India ready to host Olympics in 2036, says Modi. So Prime Minister Narendra Modi is in news yet again with a declaration that we are ready to host Olympics. So that's world's biggest sports event that the world can ever witness, and India says we are ready for it. So let's see how ready we are and how will we conduct these events. The Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Thursday announced that this year's sports budget has been tripled in comparison to the allocation made 9 years ago. So the sports budget has been tripled. It has been made 3 times this year. He emphasized India's vast pool of sporting talent and expressed the country's readiness to host 2036 Olympic Games. This declaration came on the heels of India's remarkable performance at the recent Asian Games in China, where the nation secured record-breaking 107 medals, and the tally continues. I would like to include the medals that we secured in the Para Games as well. So, what it means for a common man. We'll just read, all right, India, Olympics, India is ready to host Olympics in 2036. Imagine the number of employment opportunities, the infrastructure that needs to be developed for the Olympics, the revenue that the country is going to make, the telecast, the rights, the advertisings. Everything is going to go leaps and bounces. So that is the importance of holding this, this level of game, the highest level, the Olympics. So, during the inauguration of 37th National Games at the Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium in Margao, Modi highlighted that these games are taking place in Goa at a time when Indian sports are scaling new heights. The Prime Minister pointed out various changes in government schemes designed to provide financial incentives to athletes. So good news coming in for the athletes as well. So they will be provided financial assistance as well. In fact, financial incentives, not assistance. Incentives will be given to them, and money, it plays a very important role in everybody's life. So a lot of people used to think if they dedicate their time to something like sports, all the parents, in fact, they have this mindset, majority of them, not all, I would say, majority of the parents focus on studies. Their son, their daughter should be good at maths. They should be good at science, should be good at all the subjects, and they should score as high as possible. But the encouragement for sports was very minuscule. Very few people actually encourage their kids to be a sportsman. But owing to this, if a financial incentive is also given, so objective is to make money end of the day, and if participating in a sports can actually earn you a very good livelihood, and you can accumulate a lot of wealth, then why not take up sports as well as an option? So yet another welcome step. Now, Modi stated that India is rich in sporting talent, having produced many sports champions despite facing adversity. However, he acknowledged that the country's previous poor performance in the medal tally was source of frustration for many. The Prime Minister also referred to several significant measures taken by his government in recent weeks, including the passage of Women's Reservation Bill. Yet again, BJP will not leave any chance to highlight their achievements, and that's the strategy they work up. They will not let you forget what they have achieved. So that's a welcome strategy by the BJP, and that's how you should be campaigning. There is campaigning always is the top priority for their leaders. Wherever they go, whatever their achievements have been, be it the Ram Mandir, be it the Women Reservation Bill, they will highlight these achievements everywhere and every possible platform. So that is something to be learned from Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And build progress in Gaganyaan mission. Yes, ISRO also, it's the achievement of ISRO. Basically, all the scientists, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi participated wholeheartedly out there in all the missions. He flew from his trip, he was traveling abroad. He came back, he addressed the scientists. So that's the way you give importance to, something as magnanimous as Gaganyaan mission. The launch of Namo Bharat trains. Yes, so he, although the event, the point to be noticed is the event was about promoting sports. So along with sports, he also promoted the highlights, the trains, the Vande Bharat trains that were launched, the Gaganyaan, be it the Women Reservation Bill, everything was highlighted out there. And within the regional rapid transit and Operation Ajay, the operation which was conducted, Operation Ajay was conducted in Israel to move the Indians from Israel back to India, and also a couple of Nepalese, Nepal citizens were also moved along with Indians. So he highlighted that as well, which facilitated the return of Indians trapped in Israel. He mentioned that since 2014, the government has invested in sports infrastructure, improved transparency in the selection process for competitions, and introduced changes in financial support schemes for the athletes. Modi stressed that his government is committed to removing obstacles in the development of sports and has laid out a roadmap to propel athletes to the Olympic podium. So a lot of politics also go, or a lot of red tapeism, so to say, when it comes to the arena of sports. A person is favored, based their financials, like if a lot of bribe also is given for somebody to play. So all that has been, so that, that is what he's referring to. So now there will be transparency. It happens, somebody might be really talented, but they do not get promoted. They are not showcased, or they do not get the opportunity despite being, talented. So that is what transparency helps you with. if the whole process, the selection process is transparent, it is based on merits, definitely India is going to secure medals. We do have talents out there in streets of India. Our kids are, the young generation is highly talented, highly motivated, and that's how it should be. Now, Modi stressed his government is committed to removing obstacles in the development of sports. So, welcome move. In a bold move, the Prime Minister accused previous governments of being hesitant to allocate adequate budgets for the sports. But he asserted that the current administration has substantially increased the sports budget for the fiscal year 23-24. The sports budget is 3 times larger. So that's another feather in the cap for BJP. Now, will they utilize all these points, be it the Gaganyaan mission, be it the Women Reservation Bill, Namo Bharat trains, and Operation Ajay, along with the budget for sportsmen, which has been tripled now? Modi explained that the union government has established a new ecosystem to promote sports activities in the countries, identifying training students from schools, colleges and universities in various disciplines, providing funding for their diet and training. So 2 important aspects while you create a champion, the third one would be their mindset. They have to be really focused. So how do you increase their focus? Now, we have diet and training being included, and funding is also being provided. He celebrated India's recent success in the Asian Games and the Asian Para Games and the World University Games as motivating achievement for all athletes. Modi emphasized the importance of national games as a platform for young athletes to launch their careers and encourage participants to break old records. And moving on, what we have here is, why did we come to page 2? Because we have more news on page 1, which says 5 Lashkar-e-Taiba terrorists killed along the line of control. Of late, there has been a pattern to how Pakistan operates, and what they do is, if they want some infiltration to happen, if they want some terrorists from Pakistan to enter inside India, what they do is they start shelling, without any provocation from India's side. A bombing will start, they will start shelling, mortars will be used, and they will start shelling, so that the Indian troops are busy in retaliation. Meanwhile, some terrorists will enter the Indian territory. Now, India has understood that game, and India is retaliating heavily, and in retaliation, they killed 5 Lashkar-e-Taiba terrorists along the line of control. Security forces on Thursday killed 5 LET terrorists making an infiltration bid across the LOC in Kupwara district, and responded befittingly to unprovoked firing by Pakistan Rangers along the international border in Jammu, officials said. The ceasefire violation in the Arnia sector occurred just hours after a joint operation conducted by police and army along the line of control in the Machil sector of Kupwara. The senior BSF official mentioned that Pakistan Rangers initiated unprovoked firing at Indian posts at around 8 p.m. to which Indian forces responded with appropriate measures. Senior BSF officers were swiftly dispatched to the areas to assess the situation. Excuse me. As per the information provided by the officials, according to these sources, Pakistan Rangers also fired mortar shells into the civilian areas, causing anxiety among the border population. Now, what should India do in such circumstances? On one hand, we witnessed Israel taking a stand against Hamas, where they were bombarded by 5,000 rockets. Now, here mortars are being used and civilians are also being targeted. What should be India's response, people? Should India also take a stance against Pakistan and declare a war to eliminate these terrorists? That should be India's stance. That's how India should actually learn from what Israel did. They should also conduct an operation to, eliminate all these terrorists, these terrorist groups that exist in Pakistan. Let the consequences, whatever the consequences will be, will take care of that. That's how the stand should be. Now, several areas including Arnia, Suchitgarh, Sia, Jabaul and Treva reportedly came under fire. In the Machal sector operation, security forces successfully neutralized 5 LET terrorists who were attempting to infiltrate across the line of control. A significant quantity of arms and ammunition, including 5 AK series rifles and other incriminating materials, were recovered from the site of the encounter, according to the officials. And what do we have here? From the United States of America, an ex-defense personnel who lost his mental balance actually caused he killed 18 people in mass shooting. So that's a very, very tragic news coming in. So he was not mentally stable, owing to which, and he was highly trained in using military equipment, owing to which he actually opened fire at 2 different places, and then he fled from the scenario, and he is still at large. So, so caution has been issued to the people residing in that area. Now, moving on, we have Biden links IMEEC to Israel-Hamas war. Now, what is IMEEC? Now, that's a road, owing to the G20 summit. During the G20 summit, there was a route that was planned or proposed so that, the entire Asia could be connected. Now, President Joe Biden, now that route, he says the proposal, the mere discussion of that kind of a road, which would facilitate Israel as well, might have been the cause that Hamas actually, assaulted or perpetrated this barrage of rockets or this attack on Israel. President Joe Biden said that one of the contributing factors behind the recent attacks by Hamas on Israel could be linked to an announcement made during G20 summit in New Delhi regarding the ambitious India, Middle East, European Economic Corridor. Now, this corridor actually, in fact, there was a corridor proposed by China as well, known as CPAC, China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. That was supposed, in counter to that, probably India has proposed now India, Middle East, Europe Economic Corridor. This corridor aims to foster economic integration in the region through an extensive network of railroads. Now, why these corridors are very important? The cost of transporting goods will become much, much less when we have the railroads. Imagine a railroad that connects India to the European countries as well, including Middle East. Now, that is what the objective was. If that is attained, then transportation would be much cheaper, and the cost of the goods to be imported or to be exported would be very less, and it will be very beneficial for the traders, for the economies of different countries, owing to which this corridor aims to, in response to the unprecedented attack by Hamas on October 7th, resulting in the loss of more than 1,400 lives, Israel launching a significant counter-offensive. Biden, speaking at a press conference alongside Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese, said, acknowledged that his assessment is not substantiated by concrete evidence, but rather his instinctual interpretation. He said, I'm convinced that one of the reasons Hamas chose to launch their attack at that time, though I lack concrete proof, is due to progress we are making towards regional integration for Israel and the border region. We must continue this important work. So, that on one hand, he said that. On the other, what we have here is from Joe Biden, they say, Israel has the right, and I would add responsibility, to respond to the slaughter of their people, and we will ensure Israel has what it needs to defend itself against these terrorists. That's a guarantee. Hamas is hiding behind Palestinian civilians and is despicable and, not surprisingly, cowardly as well. So now that has been identified by everybody across the globe, we also acknowledged this. If you go through our telecasts when this was happening, we had clearly told that the perpetrators of the crime, the Hamas, the terrorists, are hiding behind these civilians. Intentionally, they fired those rockets from the civilian areas, so that when the Israeli forces try to counter them, they can hide behind these civilians. So that is what they are using the civilians as a garb, and they now want to escape this scenario. But Israel is now all ready for the ground attack. Now, why ground attack is important? They have been raiding the Gaza. They have actually, there is huge devastation that has been caused. They have grounded Gaza. The huge tall buildings, they have all now, they've turned into rubbles. After that, why it is important to have a ground assault? Because, once they start the ground operations, every tunnel, they have, the Hamas, they have created tunnels in a span of 2 years or 4 years. They have created tunnels, and they are utilizing those tunnels to transport or to hide as hideouts. So all those hideouts will be destroyed as well. So they were safe from the raids that were conducted by the airstrikes. Now, physically, now they have feet on the ground. So every nook and corner, whatever buildings or rubbles there are left of the buildings out there in Gaza, will be checked as well. Every household will be checked manually. More than 3 lakh soldiers have been called back. So now they will be conducting these ground raids, and they will be eliminating Hamas completely from the surface of the earth. This will cause a lot of disturbance as well for the, there will be collateral damage yet again. There has been a lot of collateral damage, and India has been supplying, the aid for Palestinians as well. The civilians of the Palestine would need this aid. They would need medical facilities. They would need the sanitaries. They would need the food. They would need drinking water. So all this has been sent by the by Indian government as well. But that will also, the terrorists might also loot that, because even they would need all these facilities to survive out there in Gaza. So, and moving on, let's see, we will continue to work together with the international community to expose Russia's attempts to acquire. Now, we have Park Jin from the South Korean foreign minister, who says they will continue to work with international communities to expose Russia's attempts to acquire military equipment from North Korea. Now, North Korea actually, Xi Jinping, okay, so he's from China. So, North Korea actually had a meeting with Russia as well. And they are actually exchanging, in fact, a lot of equipment was to be sent from North Korea to Russia. And, Russia is at war with Ukraine right now. So they are being supported by North Korea. Now, such weapon deliveries, several of which we now confirm have been completed, will significantly increase the human toll of Russia's war of aggression. So Park Jin says it's Russia's war of aggression, and rightly so. Although India has very good terms with Russia, but here, what Russia has done in past year and a half, the aggression, the perpetrator was Russia, in fact, and it had a threat. There was a threat that was looming around Russia, because Ukraine wanted to be a part of UN, and if that would have happened, UN could have had a base. There could have been a military base of United States of America out there, just alongside the borders of Russia. So, owing to which they opened fire, they actually started the war, and that is what he is referring to, the Russia's war of aggression. Now, Mamata Banerjee has lashed out. I think she has lashed out on whom? BJP. Now, BJP says it wants Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. So that's one dialogue that is very famous about BJP, but actually means Sabka Saath, Sabka Satyanash. So, like Muhammad bin Tughlaq, whimsical medieval ruler, the BJP is attempting to change the country's history by taking a series of ill-conceived decisions, including demonetization and introduction of GST. Now, why she is referring to Tughlaq, Muhammad bin Tughlaq? You know, there are so many facts about Muhammad bin Tughlaq that I would want to discuss. He was an interesting ruler, you know, Mughal ruler. So, I think I do have 5 minutes. Yes, Bharat? I have 5 minutes or 2 minutes only? I have only 1 minute is what he says. All right. So, you know, I will discuss about Muhammad bin Tughlaq tomorrow, and he tried his best. I wouldn't call him a whimsical ruler, but yeah, he tried his best. He did not understand the economy part and what is inflation, owing to which he started, everybody started minting coins. He introduced coin system and everybody started minting coins. That's a very interesting concept. We'll go through it tomorrow. I'll start with Muhammad bin Tughlaq and his the way he administered everything. He wanted reforms. He was a right-thinking person, but he could not implement anything. And it's going to be an interesting one to review, to discuss, to share with you. All right. Owing to that, I would call it a day from Q News English. And let me see if there is anything important that I missed out which I could cover. And gearing up for the big day, workers unload boxes containing EVMs from a truck at Charminar Assembly constituency. So EVMs are being brought in. So Indra Sena takes oath as Tripura governor. ED raids Raj Congress chief's residence, and that's a big one coming in there at this time. Defending champions England loses to Sri Lanka despite a valiant effort by Ben Stokes, who top scored for England with 43 runs. Their batting lineup crumbled under Sri Lanka's attack, managing just 157. So that's from the cricketing world. And Pawan meets Shah over seat sharing. Pawan Kalyan, in fact, founder of Jan Sena, Pawan Kalyan held a meeting with Union Minister Amit Shah in the national capital as a part of the ongoing discussions between BJP Telangana unit and his political organization. So with that, people, I think we have covered all the headlines for today in Shanarthi Telangana, the most comprehensive newspaper. So thank you so much, people, for being with us. And before I leave, I just wanted to acknowledge I have been forgetting to do this. So we have all the viewers here, including Bhagya Kumar, Karthik, Jayalakshmi Selvam, Lakshmi Narayana, and Bhikulal, along with the Sri Sailam, Satyam, Aki Reddy, Satyavardhan, and Srinivas. The list continues. Dhanaji Nayak is here with Purushottam and Gauda Govind Kumar. So everybody, thank you so much for being here with us today. And with that, I would like to conclude today's Q News English. Thank you so much. Jai Hind.